I will tell you how the one layer of cells can be divided into 3 layers. This is my job today. So I'll go step by step. I want all of you should pay attention to that each and every word I'm using it over here, okay? That'll be very important for you. Let's start with by saying a two different thing away from the blastocyst. There are 2 terms I used it earlier. I want to make sure that you understand also right now. One is gestational age, one is embryonic age. Last time I indicated to you. For example, a lady who just missed the period, the menstrual period, goes to the doctor, obviously, she is maybe 65 years old, or we're not talking about 80 years old lady. We're talking about 25, like pregnancy age is there. Missing the period is important for the lady. So they go to the doctor, and the doctor takes some kind of test, either the blood or the urine, and say, congratulations, you are pregnant. Okay? And she just missed the period. Okay? But that is 1 month pregnancy. In the gestational age is 1 month. But in the embryonic age, I indicated to you that will be only 2 weeks. Why? Because in the menstrual period, by now probably you know a little bit that the ovulation takes place at 14th day. So the ovulation is 14th day, and the menstrual period was 28 days. She just missed it. So it is almost like between 2 to 3 weeks. To understand the difference between embryonic age and gestational age. The clinicians, they use the gestational age. Okay, the 1 month pregnancy, 2 month pregnancy, but I will be talking about the embryonic age, which is more scientific, and that will be referring to. So if I say 1 week of pregnancy means that is after the ovulation, it is within 7 days. That means the gestational age is 3 weeks. Is that clear? Yes. 2 weeks of embryonic age means 1 month gestational period. Anyway, this is not a rocket science. I'm talking, you can understand it. The second important part is that we ended up over there, and I put my hand over there this side by saying that this is the blastocyst. It has a 2 layer. It is called blastocyst because there is a little swelling over there, and that swelling at the lower part actually giving the nutrition. Okay? The top layer, I draw it over there, is called epiblast, and the another layer is hypoblast. I'm giving you more important, giving the epiblast more important is that this is the stem cell. This will be responsible for bringing the 3 layers of cells. We call gastrulation. Gastrulation is the people use the term division into 3 layers, called differentiation. When the cells differentiate, we don't call it a stem cell anymore. So we start with that, then think about it. It's very interesting that how we look like. We have a brain, spinal cord, then we have the intestine, we have the kidney and the muscle and the bone. So these are coming from a specific group of cells. Not every cell is responsible for the formation of the brain. Not every cell is responsible for the formation of the muscle. There are specific cells under the genetic control, then you'll be tuned into a specific cell. So that is the story I'm going to tell you, that what is going on with the epiblast. So epiblast is the stem cell, then under some influence of the genetic triggering mechanism, then it will be forming called ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. So 3 terms I'm going to use it. Have you heard that 3 terms? Ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm? Yes. Probably you have. Those who have not, then I say that this is the 50% will learn, another 50% at night time to see what do you mean by ectoderm. I'm going to explain. Ectoderm, what do you mean by mesoderm, what do you mean by endoderm, and how does it happen from one group of cells. It is called the epiblast. Is that clear? So I'm going to start this story and try to understand how beautifully these things are happening. Now, when I draw this thing, my voice is good enough. When I draw this thing, there are 2 layers. If you see from the top, actually it looks like this. 1 layer is looking. Is that clear? Yes. So this is 1 layer, another layer is like this. Try to understand that, okay? Now I'm trying to bring this layer into 3 layers, not this one. Forget about this one. This will be forming, see, so I'll be drawing it over here. Epiblast is forming ectoderm,
Mesoderm,
mesoderm,
endoderm.
and endoderm.
Yes, sir.
Try to understand. Hypoblast is not responsible. This is a common mistake, even from a faculty. Because the understanding should be very clear. Hypoblast is not, you understand the spelling of not, N-O-T,
Yes,
not
sir.
responsible for the formation of the embryo. This is the embryo. Embryo means, like a nice drawing. This is the embryo. You can see the eye. That's a nice embryo. That's how we look like. This coming from where? Epiblast. So the epiblast, this is the layer I'm talking. So let's think about it, that how it is possible. Now, when I draw this thing, try to understand also that it is very compact cell. These are very compact cell. Okay? So what is happening? I'm giving you the story right now. Very quickly, you have to understand it. Under the influence of some genes, I'm using some genes right now, and I'll be telling, I have a slide, there are lots of genes are written over there, and each gene you have to remember for a specific purpose. Maybe the next lecture I will say, this gene is important today. Then maybe after a month, I'll say, that gene is important for this thing. So today I'm using the 2 gene only 2. It is called the TGF, transforming growth factor. Transforming growth factor. And another one is WNT gene. You don't have to remember the detailing of this, how this gene is coming, where from it is coming. That's not our job. What does it do, or what do they do? This is the TGF, transforming growth factor, and the WNT. What do? They actually allow the cells to move now. They were very compact. Now, like this is a very compact. The moment I finish, by 2 o'clock, 10 minutes before 2 o'clock, then somebody will be going that direction under the genetic thing, somebody will be, so you will be dispersing. Okay? At the same time, look at this diagram over here. So I use the blue color, so I'm using the blue color now. So this is the same diagram I'm doing like this. This is the section like this, sagittal section, the coronal section. This is a horizontal section, okay? So here I'm drawing the cells, epiblast. Remember, this is epiblast. Epiblast. All these cells are over there. So the first thing it happens, very important, there will be a primitive streak. A line will come over here. The first thing will be like, there will be a line. A line will come over here. Now I'm holding this way, I'm not holding this way, because that line will determine which side will be the anal canal and which side will be the mouth. So by this diagram, already the genetic marker is such that the mouth will be this side, anal canal will be this side. That's called primitive streak. A line. Streak means a line. Or a stripe, or streak. People use the primitive streak. All the questions are entertained a little later. So first, the most important part in the epiblast, these are the epiblast. This is the 2 different sections. This is the coronal section. This is the transverse section to show you the cells, how they're organized. The first thing is the primitive streak. Then immediately after that, there will be a little bit swelling on the top will appear. It's called the primitive node, N-O-D-E. Primitive streak, primitive node. So I'll draw that primitive node over here. Okay, primitive node. So I'm holding it so you can understand that this side will be the anal canal side, this is the mouth area will be already determined by that genetic marker. Then, after some time, there will be a little hole will be appearing. It's called the primitive pit, P-I-T, pit. So I'll write the 3 things: primitive streak, S-T-R-E-A-K, then I'm not writing the full thing. Primitive node, which node means the swelling on that, and then primitive P, PIP. Very important. Understand that. This is the genetic thing is happening. Why it is happening, how it is, none of your business for the time being. It is just happening under the influence of some genetic marker. There is a battery. If you open the book, there are like 21 genes they have put it over there. You'll be confused. But I just selected 2 based on the literature, based on the what is the advancement over there. Yes? Yes. This, you are absolutely right. This is the caudal end, this is the cranial end. Cranial means the head will be over here. You are absolutely right. This is the caudal end. So craniocaudal orientation, we ask in the exam, craniocaudal orientation is coming, cranial means head, craniocaudal means the bottom part, is determined by the primitive streak. I'm not talking about rocket science, very easy. Then there will be a little swelling, and then there will be a pit hole. Now, when there is a little hole over there, what is happening? If some of the students are going different direction, if there is a little bit hole over there, some of the students will fall down, unfortunately. Yes or no? Will invariably will fall down. So some cells fall down over there to form mesoderm. The cells which stay over there form the ectoderm, outer part. The cells, and the further down forming the endoderm. Those who, and it goes down to replace the hypoblast. The cells which replace the hypoblast are called the endoderm. So where does hypoblast go? Very interesting. Hypoblast is responsible for the extra embryonic tissue. These 3 are the embryo. This is the embryo. These 3 are responsible for the embryo. Now, I'll repeat again and again so that you know the concept is 100% clear to you. If I do like this, like I behave like an embryo right now, so that diagram is the eye is this side, so I put like this. Isn't it? I look like this? Yes or no? Yes. So on the top, whatever you see on the top is ectoderm, brain and spinal cord. Brain and the spinal cord is ectoderm. Is it okay? What you see over here, this is endoderm. In between everything is mesoderm. Very easy. Ectoderm, brain, spinal cord. Mesoderm is in between the endoderm and the ectoderm, but if you understand endoderm is the intestine. You know, when I put it, does it look like intestine? You know where the intestine is? Intestine is not here. Stomach is over here. Intestine is over. Intestine is not over here. It is over here. So intestine is endoderm. Ectoderm is the spinal cord and the brain. In between, I have some space. Okay. So the kidney, for example, the vertebral column, for example, they are all coming from the mesoderm. And how it is formed? The cells fall down over there. Right now it's very compact cells, but under the influence of the TGF, transforming growth factor, WN2 gene, there are other genes, people write it, but you remember these 2 genes. I'll show you a lot of other genes today itself, but I'll pick up 1 gene for one time. So today I'm using 2 genes. Yes?
The endoderm and the mesoderm both fall?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, the cells which are responsible for the mesoderm and endoderm both fall, you are right. And the cells which cannot fall, that is the ectoderm. Very easy. Very easy, and I'll show you each one the derivative a little later. So ectoderm is doing what? Mesoderm is doing what? And you know, this will be my job today. Okay, before showing any PowerPoint. So all right, let me orient you again and again to what's happening. What's happening is that today you'll be getting your result at the end of the day.
No.
I asked, yes. I asked the assessment office.
Be merciful.
Assessment office. I asked the assessment office to hold on before until I finish my lecture. I already.
This is what
I thought I'm going to give you good news. Hey, listen. Okay, let's start again. You know the process, I'm not talking about the assessment, I know the process of the fertilization. You know that there should be a sperm, there should be ovum, fertilization is taking place in the fallopian tube, then slowly it is crawling towards the intestine, and it is implanted. By second week it is implanted already. Is that correct? Okay. So second week means 2 layers. The diagram I made it over there is for the 2 week. What I'm trying to say right now, from the 3rd week, that's over there, from the 3rd week to 8 weeks, that you have to understand. That is called gastrulation. What is gastrulation? Is differentiation. Differentiation of what? Differentiation of the epiblast. Now, this is clear to you or not? Yes. The gastrulation is the differentiation of the epiblast to form ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. This is happening between the 3rd week. A 3rd week, the ectoderm, mesoderm is there, and the differentiation is continuing till 8 weeks. Till 8 weeks it is continuing. Like for example, I have a little stomach, will be there. The stomach will be growing a little bit up to 8 weeks, so you can understand this is the stomach. Liver or the spinal cord, or then it starts at the 3rd week, but it grows slowly. 8 weeks, most of the organs are formed. So this is also called organogenesis. From 3 to 8 weeks, we call organogenesis. All the organs are formed based on the differentiating marker. Either is ectoderm, mesoderm, or endoderm. For example, vertebra. All of a sudden, vertebra is coming. That will be 3rd week, but it will look like a vertebra by the end of 8 weeks. It will look like a vertebra. So now all the organs are formed. Therefore, a woman who is pregnant should be very careful between the 3rd week to 8 weeks. The reason is we call critical period. If the woman is exposed to any kind of virus or the radiation or some kind of drugs, unwanted drugs, the baby could be deformed. Deformed of what? All the organs, because the organs are forming between that time. So women should be absolutely very careful during that time. During that time also, the placenta is not formed. The placenta, I told you in my outset at my lecture, the placenta actually, there is a barrier.
Yeah.
After 8 weeks, the women can go to the street and then eat whatever they want. That there's a little virus is coming, not to worry, placenta is taking care of that. But between the 3rd week to 8 week, the woman is in a rubella virus, exposed to rubella virus, or some radiation, or this and that, then the child will be deformed. The organ will be deformed. There may be a little hole in the heart, or maybe teeth is not coming out, or maybe the limb is not coming out. There could be a lot of problems. The women should be very protective between the 3rd week. Why? It is called gastrulation period. Why? It is the organogenesis. Is that clear? Yes. So 3rd week to 8 weeks is very good. That's what I'm trying to emphasize step by step. So let's start again. I'll do it 10 times. I've done 2 times, but now the 3rd time I'm doing it again, 10 times. Just count it, okay? So what I'm saying is, the 2nd week, there is an epiblast and hypoblast. I don't have to talk about more because somebody already taught you that 2 for 2 layers. Now 3rd week, there should be 3 layers. This is the 3rd week. Ecto, meso, endo. Endo is replacing the hypoblast is gone. So basically 3 layers now. Hypoblast is going to the extra-embryonic tissue. You have to understand what do you mean by embryonic tissue, extra-embryonic tissue. Embryonic tissue means that forms, that's me, or you. This is embryo. From the embryo, we have a human being. This is all embryonic tissue. Extra-embryonic tissue is the placenta, umbilical cord. All these things, we talk about that. That comes partly coming from the hypoblast. It is important, but we de-emphasize for the time being. So how does it start? The cells, original epiblast, are very compact. That's the photograph over here. Very compact. Under the influence of these 2 genes, I took it out, transforming growth factor or WN2 gene, these cells slowly become disintegrated. And at the same time, there is a primitive streak which is basically showing the orientation of the embryo, which side will be the head, which side will be the anal canal. In this one, you can see that head will be this side, anal canal. This is called the orientation, or somebody just said correctly, craniocaudal orientation. Cranio means head, caudal means tail.
Yes.
Clear? At the same time, there will be the node, which is a swelling over there, and over the time that will be apoptosis, and there will be a cell, so there will be a little hole over there. You can see the hole. Okay? Now cells are moving, some cells fall down, and there is under the genetic marker, it's not everybody is falling down. You can ask that, why not all the cells fall down and there is no ectoderm? That will not happen. So there will be ectoderm. Some cells should not fall down. Some cells should fall. I'm going to show you that picture. I'm just orienting you a little bit. What is this all about? Okay, that's fine. Now, very quickly, I'm saying that I'm now taking. So there will be ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. Is that okay? Clear to you? Now I'm showing you what does ectoderm do. I'm just giving you one thing only today. Okay, ectoderm. Next time I'll do the mesoderm, endoderm detailing of this. So I'm doing today only ectoderm.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's see how the ectoderm will look like. Very easy. Okay, I'm trying to, listen, don't talk, please. This is very important and it's very difficult also if I don't explain. See how many slides I have shown you? None. I can show you all the slides quickly, boom, 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 and I can leave, and that will not help you. Because I want to make sure everybody understands step by step. So now, I'm talking about the cells, say for example, the cells which could not go down, the cells attached over here, this is called ectoderm. So how these cells now behave? And I already told you, ectoderm is responsible for the spinal cord and the brain. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now what will happen is, say this is the cell, this is the layer of the ectoderm. It will form a little bit of curve over. Can you see now a canal over here? Okay, or a tube is something, some tube is coming over here. So cells will slow, under the genetic influence, it will just make a little bit of tube over there. Can you see the tube?
Yes. What's the anus?
All of us say yes or no.
Yes.
Can you see the tube?
Yes.
So this is because there is something coming up over here which will attract. That's called notochord. Notochord is over here. I'm going to explain. Something is coming up on that will send some gene, which next time I'm going to go talk about that. The gene will attract and making it a tube over there. It was like this. So notochord will push it to make a tube. Okay. Now, if I draw it, very easy. What I'm saying is, here is the layer. You see, when I draw that, you see only one line over here. Yes or no?
Yes.
That will be now, if I move it a little bit, it is like this. Yes or no? This and this is the same diagram. It is the anterior posterior view. You take a photograph over here, you see only this one. Is that okay? And I'm talking only ectoderm now. I'm not talking mesoderm, endoderm, just only ectoderm. This. Then what will happen is, slowly it will form the tube and it will be like this. So now a tube is formed. This is called neural tube. If I do sidewise, it will look like this. This is the anterior posterior view. If I do the sidewise, then this tube will look like this. And here is the, is that okay? The tube. If I do like this, the tube is over there, and on the top, this line is there. This line is forming the skin. The skin is coming from the ectoderm. This is called the neural tube, and I'm going to show you how the brain and the spinal cord is formed from this tube. It's called the neural tube. This is the tube. Sidewise, this is the tube, the same diagram. Now, look at my diagram carefully. So this is the tube. Slowly, this tube will be forming like this way. The same tube. Do you understand? This tube and this tube, no difference. It's just increasing in length. And again, I'm restricting myself with the ectoderm. I'm restricting myself with the neural tube. It's called the tube. But how this look like a brain, I'm going to show you that. So what will happen is over the time, this will be projecting from the wall, little bit projecting, it will be increasing in size. Okay? This is your spinal cord. That's your brain. Now, you will say that, well, Dr. Paul, we don't believe you. Now you'll believe me. Is that okay? Yes. Yes, sir. We believe you now. Okay. So that is the tube. Hang on. Let me finish. So that is the tube. Hang on. Let me finish. So what I'm trying to emphasize over here, how the ectoderm can form the skin, spinal cord, and the brain. I have done that job. How the ectoderm, so first, ectoderm, this is the ectoderm, it will be folding a little bit. Now I can ask in the exam why it is folding, because of the gene in the notochord which is pulled to make it there. And then it will be forming a neural tube, is a lateral view, is growing, brain is growing, and then that is the brain and the spinal cord and the skin. So three things you learn. Ectoderm can produce the skin, and then brain and the spinal cord. Is there any problem?
No, sir.
Now I entertain some question. Who was asking question? Okay.
There's only one tube.
Only one tube, one neural tube. I just wrote one. Yes.
What's the gene that makes it form? What's the gene that makes it form?
Well, gene, one gene. I'll tell you that gene next time. Not WNT or not the transforming growth factor. Yes. Notochord. The folding? Yeah. See, right now, this is one more time. I see a lot of hands. I'll repeat it. Very easy. So just think about it. The cells which did not go through the pit, which do not go through the primitive pit, remain over there to form the ectoderm. Now I told you ectoderm is responsible for the brain and the spinal cord, endoderm for the intestine, and in between mesoderm. I'm not talking mesoderm today, I'm not talking endoderm today, I'm talking only strictly ectoderm. The cells which could not go through, it will look like this again. Then I said that the same cells will be folding a little bit and to make a tube. You can see the tube now. Yes or no?
Yes.
It's not a rocket science. Anterior posterior there's a tube. And when it completes over there, it forms a tube. The top one is forming the skin. So ectoderm produces skin. So what are the derivatives of ectoderm? Skin, spinal cord, brain. Period. Hang on. Let me finish it. See, I did not show even one slide. One slide. So this is the neural tube is forming, okay? They're forming the brain and the spinal cord and the skin. Now what happens is that this over the time, this will look like also something is coming from this side and this side. We call this one is a neural crest. Neural crest. I'm talking about the derivatives. You can write it down. Derivatives of the ectoderm. Derivatives of the ectoderm is the skin, brain, spinal cord, and neural crest. I just added one more thing, neural crest. Now this crest, these days, fortunately, you are the medical students of the 21st century. Not in my time, 100 years back. Those days we did not know even what is a neural crest. But now the research is going through the neural crest. A lot of people get Nobel Prize. Because what is happening is these cells actually go at the end of a system and complete a system. Like the heart is there, but heart is not properly functional unless the neural crest cells go over there. Like intestine is there, but it is not peristaltic movement, the contraction is not there unless the neural crest cell is there. So it's very important. So many cells are coming, like Schwann cell. I don't know whether you have heard the name Schwann cell. Yes. Actually it's coming from the neural crest. Without the Schwann cell, there is no, the action potential. This layer. So neural crest cells is also very important. So let me repeat again. I'm doing only today ectoderm. So ectoderm derivatives are skin, S-K-I-N, skin, then the brain, B-R-A-I-N, brain, right? The spinal cord, L-O-D-G-I, spinal cord, no, I'm kidding. Spinal cord, and then the neural crest cells, which are basically like ganglion cells, Schwann cells, melanocytes. There is a whole battery of cells coming from. These are the cells complete a system. So, ectoderm is the story of the ectoderm, okay? Now, one or two questions, then I have to start my PowerPoint. Okay, quick, one or two questions only, because I have to start my PowerPoint. Quick, who is, okay, over here.
What is the notochord exactly?
Yeah, notochord, very good question. Notochord, see, he said, the word is a part of the mesoderm, and I said I'm not going to talk about the mesoderm today, so that's what I did not talk. Notochord, very good question, actually $1 million question you put in. Just listen to me very carefully. I mean, he just dragged me to a system, otherwise I was trying to avoid it, but he dragged me. What is a notochord? Let me put it this. When the cells are moving, they are under the influence of an axis. Like when you finish your class, listen to me carefully, please. When you finish my class, you are not going to the shopping center. You are within the university. That's the axis. University is an axis. You are not going out. So when the cells are moving out, yet there is an axis. There is an attraction. That is the notochord. And why it is important? Because there is no vertebra at that time. I'm standing in front of you right now because of my vertebra and the muscle. If you cut my vertebra, I fall down. You want to do that, I know that, but after today. But I'll be standing because of my vertebra. But in this cells, where is the vertebra? There is no vertebra. But where is the axis? That is the notochord. You understand that? Notochord is the attraction, the Al-Faisal University's attraction. Okay, quick.
What's the name of the tube?
Neural tube, neural, N-E-U. Have you heard the name NER? Neural, N-E-U-R. I will not take any more questions because I have to finish a couple of slides. I have not done that yet. Okay, let's see.